Well, here we are in New Zealand. It's not what you'd call a summer's day by any stretch. It's actually pouring with rain and cold. But that doesn't matter because we're going indoors to a really cool workshop that's got a lot of really nice history attached to it. And sadly, Possum Bourne's not around anymore, but his legacy lives on, and the guys that are running the workshop now are doing a really good job of preserving that. So let's go and have a look. There he is. Hey Pat, how you going, mate?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good. So, yeah, I mean, we made it to Auckland finally, and you're the new owner of Possum Bourne Motorsport for a few years now. Got to give us a look around. Let's have a look at what you got in the workshop.
Yeah, so here we've got our main workshop area where all the guys work. Most of the cars are JDM, so a lot of Subarus, a lot of Mitsis, few Nissans here and there. Like what you can see here is pretty common for day-to-day operations for us.
What have we got going on here? This looks like a bit of a project car.
Yeah, so this is my own Version 8 STI. As usual, own projects are never moving as fast as anyone else's, but yeah, gonna make that a bit faster and convert it a bit more into a track car. Yeah, we've done the engine a little while ago, and now we're looking at a turbo setup to fit a EFR 7163 into it, and not looking for crazy power, but a responsive and fun package that I can just take to the track. And I probably won't keep it road legal anymore because it's becoming a bit difficult nowadays here.
Oh, well, I mean, you guys have got a racetrack 2 minutes from here, which is beautiful. So, now what sort of power are you hoping to get out of it?
Maybe 320 kilowatt. Okay, yeah, but have it spool up early and have a nice wide power band.
What else have we got in the workshop here that's special?
Up here we've got Thomas's car that's been modified a few years ago. He's now back for aftermarket ECU. There's finally a plug-in version available for it. So we've been fitting that and now we're going to retune it. That car is somewhere around the early 300 kilowatt mark as well. Just a road car from down in New Plymouth.
Cool, and a bit of a fab area around the corner here.
We do a bit of fabrication here and there, mostly intercooler piping, downpipes, a few exhausts. And yeah, that's where we do it all. We've got all the basic machinery in here that we need and try to keep it away from the cars, have it a separated area, which works pretty well.
Now I spotted something British over here, which is a little bit out of the ordinary for you guys. What's going on with this?
That's Greg's Esprit. So that's been an ongoing project from him. He's had big plans to basically improve everything that Lotus didn't do well, because they hand built these cars and there's quite a few things you can tell that aren't perfect. Yep. So he's improving everything there and then make more power. So he's got upgraded turbochargers on it, different engine management system, and these never came intercooled. So this now has a water-to-air intercooler set up in it. So it should put down around about 600 horsepower once it's done, and of course something you don't see every day.
Another customer Evo here. So what's going on in the corner here? We spotted this when we came in with a cover on it. Is this a...
Yeah, this is all covered up right now, but yeah, we can take the cover off. That's a project we're doing for Anton. He's got a few RBs in Samoa, and he's spending more and more time in New Zealand as well. And so he just bought this car as a completely stock, unmolested vehicle with the RB25 in it. Yep. And he had RB26 lying around. As you do, yeah. That's just been built by Rips, and originally wanted to send that to the islands for another car, but then decided to put it into this and go all out, upgrade the whole driveline, engine management system, fuel system, everything, and looking to make some pretty good power, do a few events, fours and rotaries and chrome that we have in here, and just make it reliable and strong, so every time he comes over he can just drive it. Yeah. So then we go into the engine building department where we do all our engines. So through here is our engine building department where we build all our engines, and we've got Glenn in the back there working away on a Evo 10 motor that he's building. He's the expert in this area, so he can tell you a bit more about what he's doing.
Oh, we'll see if we can get him off of that engine and show us around. So what's going on here, mate? The boss has just run off to answer a phone call, so
This is just a 4B11 motor that we're putting together, just real basic forged piston rod setup. So put piston rod in, torque it up, and put the other three in.
Obviously, you got a bit of Mitsubishi stuff on the go here, but with all the history of Subaru and stuff like that, you're putting together a few Subaru engines.
Yeah. So Subaru's our bread and butter. What we do mostly of, bit of Mitsubishi as well from the rally heritage of them both, and then every now and then a little bit of other JDM stuff. But yeah, Subaru mainly, Mitsubishi second, and then go from there.
Nice, and I noticed there's a little bit of history over here in the cupboard. What's going on here?
The majority of this is from before my time, and they're like Group A, WRC, Group N days. Bit of a, I don't know if you call it trophy cabinet, but just something interesting for when guys like you come along and see, like, when you're pushing the limits on things, stuff breaks, and some of it's pretty spectacular. Yeah,
well, I mean, those conrods look like they've seen a little bit of heat.
Yeah, no, they're all welded pretty well onto that crankshaft there. A little bit of, like if you're in a rally, you need to get to the end of the stage and back to service again, so you just got to get back no matter what.
Nice, and a couple of collapsible conrods and pistons.
Yeah, a few broken conrods and pistons that have seen a little bit of heat, dropped valves, ringlands that have disappeared, bit of everything.
Yeah, wow. Well, I guess if you're trying to get the win, then it's at all costs, isn't it? I'm really impressed by this chamber here. It's like it's perfectly smashed up.
Yeah, and then we've got the piston for it here as well. That has a nice hole melted through it.
Not much compression going on there anymore.
Nah.
Ooh, and it looks like the sleeve.
That's the sleeve out of it as well. So yeah, got the combo of crank and rods, piston, sleeve, head.
And even the spark plug's just hammered flat too.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Yeah, everything gone. So yeah, definitely when you're pushing big power out of these things that are only the size of a milk bottle, there's only so far you can go.
And what do you got here? There's a couple of more Subaru engines. This one's
Yeah, there's one that we've just done. Should be a bit of a monster, around the 400 kilowatt-ish mark. Yep. So so that's all ready to go back into the car and be tuned.
Nice. Well, and it's also quite cold outside, but it feels like you've got the heating on in here.
Yeah,
so
no, I've got the aircon in here, keep it a kind of standard temperature.
Yep.
Can't have temperatures going up too much when you're playing with all your measuring gear and stuff like that. Keep it nice and consistent.
And I guess, looking at this wall here too, what's your favourite part of the history here? I mean, it's not all Possum, but it's there's some pretty cool stuff up there.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely the early days. Like I was born in '96, where some of those like the GT8s and stuff were around rallying, and they're definitely like 96, 97 cars are probably a favourite of mine. And then also the GRBs, like Subaru last ran them, I think it was 2008 or 2009, so I was lucky enough to go to WRC to see those actually race, so they're a pretty cool car as well. But yes, cool with all the history to have it there to look at every day.
No, brilliant. All right, thanks for that, mate.
No, all good.
Cheers, leave you to it.
Yeah, cheers.
Oh, gearbox department.
So yeah, we've got a bunch of things going on in here. So got the diff out of the Skyline there, and a couple of parts for the gearbox as well. We're just getting a upgraded gear set into it. A couple of Subaru gearboxes as well. Like this one had a bit of a hammering and destroyed a couple of gears and forks and stuff. So pretty frequently we do Subaru gearboxes here. Most of them, as they get older and have some synchro bearing wear, they just need a freshen up. But this one's a fairly new one that's just had a real beating to it. We're just repairing that again. We can go over the other side and have a look at the dyno cell.
Alrighty, just warming my hands up here.
Yeah, on this side here we have our four-wheel drive dyno that we use pretty much day in, day out. Again, very handy for us to have. A good tool so we can offer a complete package. Yep. Drive in, drive out with engine building, upgrades and tuning. At the moment we've got a version 8 STI on here that we've done some upgrades on. Turbo upgrade, fueling, etc. So still running a stock engine, so the engine is going to be kind of the limiting factor at the setup.
Not every customer's always going to want to go for that, crazy, ridiculous amount of power. Like most people just want modest upgrades and stuff like that, especially if it's a car they're going to be driving quite often as well. But and now with the price of gas and everything as well. But
we do a lot of just basic packages where we do a few bolt-on upgrades and a tune, and that's perfectly good for a lot of customers. course, some people want to push it further, and if you've driven the car for a while, you're always looking for a little bit more.
Yep.
And then, yeah, apart from that, we have a bit of storage on this side just to keep the cars that we're working on. We do quite a lot of parts nowadays, so yeah, we need to store them. So that's one of the rooms that we've got, plus one upstairs. And yeah, we ship them anywhere in New Zealand, as well as bunch of things overseas. Yeah, over the years, that's kind of established into a pretty important part of the business and keeps growing.
Yeah, because not everyone can come to you, can they? So yeah.
Nah, and yeah, we support a whole bunch of workshops throughout the country as well with the parts they need, so it works pretty well.
So I just noticed the Aussie Motor Magazine poster over there. That's pretty cool.
There's another classic from back from the days. Yeah, this used to be the old fab bay in here.
Okay.
That's why this is still in here.
Yep.
Yeah, we used to do the fabrication in here, but kind of decided to move it a little bit closer to the cars, make it a bit easier to, yeah, test fit bits and pieces rather than have it out of the way here.
So I guess the other thing is too, I mean, the name of the business, Possum Bourne Motorsport. I mean, how involved in the history part of the business are you now with, you know, keeping the name fresh and people knowing who Possum Bourne was? Yeah,
I mean, the heritage is a huge part of it. There's people that know us all over the world for Possum's history and rallying, so it's pretty important, and yeah, we do our most to uphold the standards, to make sure we support the name well, and still got good contact with his family. His Piggy is still checking in every now and then, so, and she's pretty happy, and it's been good. Big history behind it. I think everything here in this premises kind of started around '86, and we're still in the same place. When they originally did the WRC setup, it was really, really big. So it was like the both sides completely, all with Possum Bourne Motorsport. But that was when Subaru was backing the whole operation. So a bit different now, and more performance oriented than right into the rallying. It's good to see though, that like walking around here, there's still, you know, a lot of WRXs and flat fours being built and stuff like that. So you've sort of kept the heritage, plus just looking on the walls, it's really cool to see pictures of Possum, and you know, even there's Alistair McRae up there. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that car is still around in New Zealand. That comes out every now and then for select events, and yeah, it does go to the Leadfoot Festival pretty much every year, trying to compete for the win. So it's a very fast car. And I guess your own personal history, I mean, obviously going by the accent, you're not a Kiwi born and bred, but what's your background and how did you get into this business? I'm from Germany originally, but been here for about 12 years, and business kind of was just a coincidence that it happened. It was one of those moments where it was the right time and the right thing, and I didn't know about this business before. A few years prior, I was a customer here, and yeah, always loved anything fast and a lot of Subarus. I had one myself, so it was just the right thing. Yeah, perfect opportunity. Yeah, nice. And I mean, what's hopes for the future with this business? I mean, it's obviously a changing world as well with cars and performance and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, there's obviously a lot going on at the moment. But is there more stuff you want to get into and do, or is there? Yeah, we'll definitely carry on with our core areas, like core brands that we do. So we're always gonna see some Subarus around here, and parts has just been a pretty big one, so there's more coming in that sector. And yeah, as the market changes, we do more on the European side as well. The next few years are going to be interesting here, I guess, because you see more of the electrification happening, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of enthusiasts that will still drive their petrol cars and motorsport as well.
it's been nice having a look around and seeing a bit of the history, and yeah, it's great to see that you're really upholding his name and keeping the history going. So really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you for coming over.
Yeah, we'll go out and try and stay out of the rain.
Good luck with this part. Yeah.
Thanks, man.